Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Justin Riley.
And I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and I'm excited because we got a great show today.
As always, we do. We have a great show. We are here at the Beer Stube at Capitol Brewery here in Middleton.
The smell of hops and brewing is in the air, and it's behind us. It's all taking place right behind us.
Yeah, this is a unique place because you know you're at a brewery when you walk in because of the smell.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
if you didn't know because of the smell, you know because you can see them brewing.
You can
here
actually
behind
see
you.
it right behind us.
That's right.
Yep, absolutely.
And they are brewing all these wonderful products that you see in front of us.
And this is a pretty unique day that we just happened to land on for our filming here. They're having their annual beverage distributors meeting.
Yeah, perfect timing for us to happen ourselves in here.
Yeah.
And we're going to chat with some of those distributors. They've got some insightful things to talk about in terms of what the actual process looks like from brewery to distributing and then final end product. So,
Yep, that's the 3-tier system.
yes, so we'll learn a little bit about that. Kind of a helpful learning segment coming up later in the show. We're also going to chat with Best of Janesville. James Flister is making the trek out to Capitol Brewery here, and he's got some really cool things going on at his place. And boy, oh boy, they are always expanding, always coming up with new ideas and new people and new crafts, and it's just so much fun. Great place to go for holiday shopping, and it's just an experience. It's a day.
It really is.
So.
And we'll be joined by our good friend Emily from Dog Days Grooming and Care, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of the services they offer there and some holiday things to take into consideration with your pet. So
Yeah,
great
always
show
a pleasure.
coming up.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot. So
Yes.
stick around for Wisconsin Family. We'll be right back.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family, and we are really excited to be filming here at the Beer Stube of Capitol Brewery in Middleton.
We are indeed, and we might have one later. It's going to be a while till you can have one, though, okay?
We are joined now by at least one familiar face and one maybe not so familiar face. Emily Ruzicka from Dog Days Grooming and Care has joined us with Dash. Dash, welcome. Shouldn't you be in school right now?
We're so glad to have you.
Well, I don't have school today.
Oh, sure. Yeah, playing hooky to come to the Beer Stube. I see.
No.
So, Emily, welcome back. It's good to have you with us. So,
Nice to see you.
you know, you always have so many good things to talk about, and you have such an intuition. I mean, you really are our local dog whisperer, which is really kind of cool.
Yes.
So, talk to us. You know, you do doggy daycare, obviously. Talk to us about what is an appropriate age for puppies to be starting doggy daycare.
Okay, it's a good question. Oftentimes the typical feeling about that is around 6 months. You could do a little bit younger, 4 months to 6 months, kind of the same as when it's first take them to the park. But we are very lucky in that we have really high staff-to-dog ratio in a smaller space. Oftentimes people think of daycares as, oftentimes they are larger warehouse-style spaces where you're having 30, 40, 50 dogs, which is wonderful, but that's not the way that we operate it. We're on a very small scale. We usually have 10 to 15 dogs for daycare. So we have spaces in which the staff and the dogs are right next to each other at all times. And so we are able sometimes, in certain cases, to take little puppies. So we do have a new puppy named Penelope, and she is just 3 months old, and her mom's a teacher down the street at the country day school. So we get the honor of caring for her in her little wee years right now, in her little wee first months. And this is the same family that I mentioned a few months back that they had just lost their dog, Maxwell, to cancer, and we got to care for him in his last few months and take him to the park. So full circle, and she's wonderful. So, so we're lucky there. Yep.
Yeah,
very lucky.
It's kind of interesting because it almost coincides with things that you think about for children when you bring them to daycare. You know, it's kind of what age do you want to bring them, and then also that parent or that teacher to children ratio for dogs is really important.
I came from doing after school work and things with young kids, so I remember ratio is very important.
Yeah, well, you want to make sure that they're getting the proper care, and so to have a high teacher ratio or a high owner care ratio for them is great. Now, I want to talk a little bit about dog parks because this is something we've talked a little bit about in the past, but it's kind of an interesting topic. So let's talk a little bit about when you should go to the park versus when you shouldn't. What are your recommendations there?
Sure. I was kind of thinking too about like applying the seasonal stuff right now to this question in that oftentimes people think, oh boy, it's so cold in Wisconsin in the winter. We talked about this a little bit ago, that, dogs don't, do or do not like the snow or do not like the cold. Dogs are going to let you know if they want to be out there. Like we mentioned before, breeds with thick, long hair are going to be out longer. Little ones with little feet and short hair may not be so much, but dogs do like to go out in the winter. As far as dog parking, pretty much just shorten your visits. Watch your dog's feet. If they're lifting their paws up, they want to go in. If they're heading towards the gate, they want to go in. Littler ones will shiver, put a jacket on them. It's always appropriate to go, but our policy is absolutely not if it's below 0. Wind chill, absolutely not. The park that we use is very, very windy, so even 10 below, below 10, not so much. But certain dogs, they do like a little run out there, for a little while, even when it's that cold.
Well, you got to find that balance between getting them some outdoor exercise and keeping them safe, of course.
Sometimes just a good lap, and then they're doing hot chocolate
Did you
all
call
around.
it dog parking it?
Dog parking
Dog
we do.
parking.
Absolutely.
It's like a new meaning to parking. I love
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys are very unique in that you make that a part of your daily routine to take the dogs out there. And you're very lucky to have that location.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was a
absolutely.
plan. That was part of the idea. Was I love to take dogs to the park, and I was trying to figure out how to make that work. And things snowballed, and here we are, almost
Well, that's
10 years
important
later.
as people are choosing a place to go to know that they're going to get that outdoor attention too.
It's special.
And when you go there, I'm assuming there's other folks who are taking their dogs to the park. Are you seeing the same dogs on a pretty regular basis when you go there? Or is it different?
We do. There's always the different ones. There's always the weekend warriors that we call them that come out and cruise for the weekends with their kids and the whole 9 yards, which is wonderful. And then during the week, though, there's folks that come in the morning, 9 o'clock, and they're doing their walks for their own exercise and for their dog, and it's a lovely routine. So they often, certain people will know when we come and like to hook up with us and run with the pack so their dogs get more action. So we do like to see that. That's fun,
That's cool. They get to interact a little bit.
Totally. I was going to say they get to go see their friends at the park.
Yeah.
How fun is that? Let's, quick before we go, talk a little bit about the holidays that are coming up. What's going on at Dog Days?
A couple things. We have really, one of my staff members, Becca, makes these gorgeous treats, handmade everything, and she decorates it very beautifully for the holidays. They're available there to buy. And she's also going to make these layered treats that you can make your own dog treats, like you've seen for cookie making, where all of the ingredients are in the jar. And then also we have, one moment, hands on. We have boarding available still for holidays. Everybody gets to go to the park. It's a big party for the holidays. So book your dog for boarding. Yes, sir.
She also makes cookies.
And she also makes cookies. She's going to make people cookies too, and dog cookies. Yeah.
Oh,
so
so
those
exciting.
are fun, super unique.
I'm there if there's cookies there. What about you?
You gonna
like
go?
Cookies, Dash?
I think you'll see Dash there. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're a closeted cookie eater.
Yeah, he's been around Dog Days since he was a baby, so yeah.
You guys are great. Thanks so
Emily
much for
Ruzicka,
sharing
thank you
that.
so much for joining us
Thank
today. And when we come back, I guess we'll be
Wave.
talking with some more folks here, right here in Wisconsin Family. Stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day. Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Justin and I are still sitting here in the beer stube, enjoying ourselves, now joined by James, who joins us from Best of Janesville. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you. We'll have a beer later after the show. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So we're going to talk to you about a few things today. Some new things happening at Best of Janesville. Very exciting. If you haven't been yet, it's a great place to shop. You can get some really cool, really unique items. And you've got some vendors that are actually in the space. So let's talk a little bit about that vendor relationship today and who out there can actually be a vendor there.
Definitely. So we're always looking to add vendors to our store. We've got over 20 vendors now. We're looking to add, 10 to 20 more. And so we've got anybody who's interested in repurposing furniture or antiques, collectibles, mantiques, they call them.
Mantiques.
I love it.
Thank you for bringing that word to my life.
Yes. So anything or whatever you're into, we've got a space for you, and we charge $1 a square foot. You keep 100% of your sales, or you can do a consignment model in which you'd keep 60% of the sale price. So we've got a great opportunity for you to kind of come in and kind of start your own little business right inside of our place.
Yeah, and that $1 a square foot, that is incredibly reasonable in terms of pricing. So people out there who are looking for a space, you can't get a better deal than that.
Is that pretty typical? I'm just curious. Is that pretty typical for folks that do kind of like the repurposing type of thing to be in need of more vendors, like to say, hey, we want more people? Because whenever I go into, you don't have a lot of space there. There's not a lot of empty space there at your place.
Right. And my wife, Patty, she's bless her heart, but she's ready to kill me because whenever we get another
Don't expand.
right, and
Yeah.
we get another new vendor that wants to come in, I'm like, okay, Patty, we need to move all of this stuff from here to here, and so it's a constant, jostling around
Yeah.
of items, but that's part of the fun too.
That is part of the fun because it's always, you guys have it set up so nice, all these beautiful little vignettes, and it makes it really easy to shop. But that's what's fun about it too, is you're expanding, and each vendor is so different from the other that I remember walking through, and I may have said this before, but there was just certain little areas that kind of spoke to me and that I got more excited about.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so fun to have such a big variety.
Right, we try and keep it unique and fresh, and that's kind of the draw, is the museum kind of feel to
Right,
it.
yeah.
And so that's what we go for.
And
Yeah.
you're located in the U-Haul, or next to the U-Haul place.
We're a U-Haul dealer.
You are the
and
U-Haul
so we've
place.
got all the U-Haul size trucks available, trailers. We've got the dollies. And so we've got everything you would need for all of your moving needs. So right
That's
inside
nice.
Best of Janesville, you can book your U-Haul rental.
So that's nice. So that you can do that whether or not it's a Best of Janesville purchase. You just have U-Haul
Exactly.
available.
Exactly.
But also, if you wanted to bring something large home, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly,
The
that's
U-Haul's
happening.
right
There's no
there.
excuse now,
Yeah,
folks.
that's right.
That has happened.
I love
It's
that.
a great benefit.
Let's talk about estate sales. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this, so bring
Sure.
us up
So
if you would.
basically, if you have too much stuff for whatever reason that you need to get rid of, just give us a call and we'll come to your place and we'll get it out of there for you. And so we keep it real simple math. If you want us to come and get it, then you keep 40% when it sells, and if you bring it to us, then you keep 60% when it sells. So we kind of combine that with our consignment model.
Perfect.
And so for whatever reason, if you need to weed out, just give us a call.
Very good. So the U-Hauls help with that too. If
Exactly.
you go get that stuff for them.
And you are expanding not only for new vendors, but you're looking to do some shared space. You have some shared space opportunities for
Yeah,
other
this
people.
is neat.
We are. We're looking for about 6 to 8 creative-minded individuals who are looking to possibly share a workspace. So we're kind of calling this a maker space, creative workspace. And so there's an opportunity to share some tools and obviously share, get inspired by some other fellow artists and stuff. So if you're a furniture repurposer or an artist or a sculptor or photographer, whatever the case may be, and you're looking for a couple hundred square feet to kind of launch your business, this is the opportunity.
This is it, yeah. And like we said about price before, this is such a good deal. I always follow you on Facebook, but some really good opportunities and good pricing for people who are looking to get in for a space. And before we go, talk a little bit about this monthly auction that's coming up.
Definitely. So we're looking to launch a monthly auction house. So it'd be the same thing with a consignment model where you'd bring your stuff in, and we'll go ahead and we'll get it priced and stuff, and we'll get it all set up for our monthly auction.
How fun. Who's
cool.
going to call that? I
Right.
love it.
Well, we're actually looking. So
Are you?
if you've got anybody, if you want to volunteer, or Justin, we're looking for an
I
auctioneer.
can just
so-
see you
I don't think I can
calling
speak
it.
that fast.
You
I don't
can.
think
You can do it. I love it.
I don't think I can do that. You're also expanding. Your expansion is not just inside, but it's outside too. You've got some cool things coming up on the
Correct.
outside, or plans
Correct.
for the outside.
Yeah, we're working to expand the outside. So next spring, we're looking to launch a greenhouse type of
Wow.
setting for like perennials and hanging baskets and that sort of thing. And then next fall, get into some of the pumpkins and gourds and possibly Christmas trees. So we're looking to really get into the outside stuff too.
That's so much fun. Well, it's so much fun to shop all the cool things inside, so it's just a perfect fit to expand outdoors and bring some creativity to the outside there. I love
definitely.
that. Well, thank you so much. This is James Flister, who joins us from Best of Janesville. I highly recommend you go check out their space. It is very cool, worth the visit, and I love it. So I'll be out there soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. We'll be back with more Wisconsin Family coming up right after this, so stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are so excited to be here at the Beer Stube of
We are.
Capitol Brewery here in Middleton, Wisconsin.
And how fitting now we have beer in front of us.
We do have beer in
We're
front
ready.
of us. It's never too early. And we're so blessed today because today, I guess, is the annual meeting of all of the distributors for Capitol Brewery. And we're joined now by, we've got two guests with us today who are from out of town. So we have
Oh.
Eric from
treat.
Lewis Glenn's Beer. He's the craft brand manager. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you very much.
And then we have Jake, who's Vice President of Sales for Clear River Beverage. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Clear River Beverage is based out of the Twin Cities, and Lewis Glenn's is based out of Chicago.
That's correct.
So we're going to kind of get two perspectives here on Capital Brewery and some other markets, and it'll kind of meet.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. So talk to us a little bit about what brought you guys here today. I know we mentioned that a little bit, but kind of talk to us about what that's all about.
Sure, absolutely. So today is an annual meeting that Capital Brewery has. So all the distributors from around the state of Wisconsin, as well as their other markets, come in. We kind of talk about what happened in 2015 and looking forward to future plans for 2016.
Okay. And that was perfect that we kind of happened upon this, because it'll be nice to get a little bit different perspective. And also, I'm curious kind of what your two roles are. So talk to us a little bit of what does a vice president of sales do, and then what does a craft brand manager do? Talk to us about that.
Well, my primary job is to just make sure that we're cascading our brand plans to our team. So we, make sure that we have the right plan in place first of all, and working with our suppliers, which is one of the reasons we're here today.
Right.
And then just making sure that our teams are informed, motivated, and making sure that we're executing in the marketplace mainly.
Love that. That's great. And how about yours?
A lot like Jake. I sort of work as a brand manager, but as a liaison between the breweries that I represent and our sales force directly. So any sort of new packages that are coming to the market, I sort of then let our immediate staff know in Chicago. Then they take it out to the street and sell it from there.
I find that so fascinating how many people it takes to ensure that everything is getting put into place correctly, and it's so smart that there are people out there that's ensuring that the brand is well represented, that the product is well represented. There's really a lot that goes into it, and that's really nice for consumers to know that when they get Capital Brewery, whether it be at a grocery store or a bar, that they're going to get a consistent product, right? Is that kind of part of it?
Well, and that's kind of the beauty of the three-tier system that's set up. And I know it's state by state, it's a little different. For us in Minnesota, it's very structured, where then the supplier can focus on what they do best and making great product. We can focus on what we do best and get the product to the retailers, and then the retailers can focus on what their strength is, which is satisfying the end consumer. So it's really a great system, and it's proved to work over since Prohibition.
And that's that three-tier system.
Yes.
The brewer takes care of making great beer. You guys take care of distributing it, and then the retailer, I guess, takes care of making sure that the customer's happy.
And then the fourth, which is us, the consumer.
The most important.
That's the most important tier right there.
Right.
So how nice you guys all have such a lovely partnership, and that's part of why you're here, is to continue that relationship.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, people get into this industry in different avenues and in different ways for different reasons. Some people, if you were from Milwaukee or St. Louis, you might start out with, one of the big beers. But a lot of people craft beers are so huge nowadays. I'm just curious to know, how did each of you get into this? What's your story and how you got into working with beer?
I started in what we would call the on-premise channel, so basically working restaurants and bars for a lot after college. Then I was a beverage director for a grocery superstore chain. Then from that I went to the distribution side. So kind of grew up through the industry, saw on-premise, saw off-premise, and then made the chance to move to distribution. With so many new packages from Capital, as well as so many other suppliers coming out, it is sort of crucial to have those kind of totem poles in place, so everybody kind of pass on that knowledge to the next person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I got started, actually this is my 20th year in the beverage business, and I just got lucky, I think. I started out actually delivering soda for a pop company, and then 3 years after that, I got hired with the company I'm with now, and started as a driver, and just kind of worked my way through the company, and it's been great. I couldn't imagine a better job to have, because it has everything that I enjoy. I mean, it's very competitive. It's a lot of fun, so it's a nice balance of everything I was looking for.
Interesting experience.
And I find that people who work in this industry, and I can see this in both of you, are very passionate about what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They may not have intended to get into this industry, but once they get in, it's like, wow, this is a really, really cool thing to get into, and they get all this passion for it.
Agreed, yeah.
It is nice to see. It's also it's sort of easy to have that passion and kind of harness it, because you get it back from the consumers when you're out talking. But if people they don't want to just kind of just knock them back and crush beers anymore, right? They want to really take a look and sip and say, savor and really enjoy what it is. When you've got fine, consistent quality packages coming out from Capital as well as lots of other breweries, they really want to get into it. They really kind of oozes the passion right out of the consumer.
Yeah, and I think just like what you said, and Justin hit the nail on the head with the craft beer industry becoming so big, it's about the experience. It's not just about, pounding a few back like you said.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious, before we go, I want to talk a little bit about the two different markets and kind of get a feel for where you're distributing to, and for folks out there as they're in different markets, where they can actually get Capital Beer, Capital Brewery. So let's start with Chicago. Where do you mainly distribute?
Sure. Capital's got great presence both on-premise and off-premise. So that means basically in bars and restaurants as well as the grocery channel, liquor store chains. Capital's great because they're a great value-added package as well as they've got some really high-end beers. They kind of have the whole gamut of products. So you can find them almost anywhere in Chicago.
Wow, that's incredible. How
yeah,
about
in the Twin Cities, we have a little different kind of a marketplace. We're mainly packaged liquor driven. We don't have strong beer in C-stores and other places. So it's, but we are seeing a big change in our market with a lot of national chains coming in, and kind of to what was just mentioned. These guys are very, very well priced. The liquid they make is great. They've kind of rejuvenated themselves the last couple of years and going more IPA heavy, and that's something we've been very excited about in the Twin Cities. Because that is the biggest segment in the craft business right now. So it's been very nice that they have kind of innovated the last few years along with the market. So.
Yeah, well, they say if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Is that the?
Yeah, I suppose.
Is that the saying? So, how about for you two personally? Do you have a favorite? What's your favorite Capital Brew?
I think that either, as we just mentioned, their IPAs, either Grateful Red, the red IPA, or Mutiny, their traditional IPA. Both huge fans of that.
Mutiny, you gotta love that name too, right? How about yours? Your favorite?
I'm a big fan of the Ghost Ship,
Okay.
the white IPA, but and actually kind of take that to the next level. They've done a few, the Ghost Ship and the Grateful Red on Nitro in draft that I am a very big fan of.
Big
so
fan of
yes.
draft. Awesome. Well, it's all good stuff, and I'm sure as consumers are getting their beer from their various distribution locations, they'll be thinking of you now.
Absolutely.
So thanks for kind of giving us some insight into that. That's actually really interesting and fun to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. That's all the time we have today for Wisconsin Family. We've been here on location at Capital Brewery in Middleton at the Beer Stube.
Yeah.
From all of us here, we'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world